If you want to teach on Outschool, then I've got some spicy truths that every new teacher should know before getting started. As an online teacher coach and an Outschool organization owner, I can tell you that if you hear me out on these 8 truths, it'll dramatically change the way that you approach your start to teaching online. Make sure to stay until the end because I'll share my exact strategy for if I was getting started on Outschool today. Hi there, my name is Katie Geddes. Make sure to grab my 30-day guide to teach online linked below. So let's talk about the first hard truth of getting started on Outschool, and it's that it's gonna take time. When you hear stories from teachers online sharing how they made thousands of dollars in their first few months of teaching on Outschool, they probably got started with the platform back in 2020 or 2021. This is no longer really a thing. And I'll be honest, I was that girl and I share that about my story, but you have to be realistic these days that it's kind of like getting started on TikTok back then. When you got started on TikTok in 2020, it was so much easier to go viral than it is now, right? Because the platform is more saturated these days. And the same is true about Outschool. It's more saturated. Is it too saturated? No. You can still start on Outschool today and scale to a full-time income teaching online with that platform. The key thing is that you have to figure out how you can bring something new and exciting and unique to the platform. But again, it's going to take time to grow that student base and really make a name for yourself on Outschool. All right, the second hard truth of teaching online with Outschool, some classes that you make will fail. I've done this as well. I've got like 60 classes in my archives on the Outschool platform of classes I don't teach anymore or I never taught because they never sold. When you get started in the beginning, you have to experiment with class creation. That's where I would spend the bulk of your time, is coming up with class ideas, creating the class listings, getting them scheduled, putting them out there, and see what you notice about the numbers. Check things like your views or your saves or your enrollments once you've put those classes out there and see which classes are getting the most traction, which ones are getting the most traffic. Then lean into what is working. And if you're getting started on the platform today and you're not quite sure what kind of classes that you could teach, then definitely check out this YouTube video next where I talk through class ideas that sell and my 4-step process to creating sold out classes on the Outschool platform. All right, the third hard truth of teaching online on Outschool is that Outschool takes 30% of your earnings. If you're new to this whole Outschool thing and you're not sure how the payment process works, just know that for every dollar that you earn, Outschool takes 30% of that. So for example, if you have a class and you price that class at $10 per student, if a student enrolls, you're gonna earn 7, but Outschool is gonna take 3. The perks, of course, with Outschool are that they have that awesome student base. They have over 1 million students on the platform who are enrolled and ready to take classes on the platform. And that's why it is worth it, especially for group classes, to pay that 30%. To be honest, it quite hurts for one-on-one classes, and that's why I do recommend that most teachers start teaching one-on-one independently off of the platform. But to be able to host those group classes on the platform is pretty unbeatable. All right, the fourth hard truth about teaching online with Outschool is that you will need to market your classes. Like I said, it is not 2020 anymore. You are not going to be able to just create a class, put it up on the platform, and then it's going to sell out. It doesn't work that way anymore. Once you create a class, you are going to be in charge of marketing that class. Outschool does do marketing for us. They do Facebook ads, Instagram ads, stuff like that. But you have to take charge of your own marketing and share that class in Facebook groups. Reach out to any past learners that you've had and invite them to enroll in that new class. Share your classes with your network and the people that you know personally. If you need some ideas for how to market your classes, doing so without social media, I have a video all about this, so you should definitely check that video out next to get some more ideas. Okay, the fifth hard truth about teaching online with Outschool is that in the beginning, it's normal to teach to one learner. At the start of your Outschool journey, it's pretty normal to just get one enrollment in a class. Like I said, it takes time to really build up that student base. Before you go about teaching that class, usually I just reach out to the learner and I ask them or their parent if they're okay with being the only learner in that class. If they say yes, then I go forward with the class. I will say that last minute enrollments are common, and so that's another perk of leaving a class open even if you only have one kiddo enrolled, because getting another student even 10 minutes before class sometimes does happen. But still teaching to that one learner is so important. That one learner could turn into a re-enrollment, right? Maybe they'll sign up for one-on-one lessons with you. Maybe they'll encourage their friends or their siblings to join your classes as well. You never know, they might become your biggest advocate. All right, the sixth hard truth of teaching online with Outschool is that you have to live in one of their required countries. There are 6 countries that you could live in to teach for Outschool Outschool. They are the United States, Canada, Wales, England, New Zealand, and Australia. I have a lot of people who reach out and they're interested in teaching for Outschool, but they do not live in one of those countries. And I have to tell them sadly that they're just not going to be able to teach for Outschool at this time. And this is because you have to pass a background check in order to teach on the platform because you're working with young learners. And right now they only have background checks set up in those 6 countries. Will they have more in the future? Maybe, but right now that's one of their requirements. The alternative, of course, to teaching on Outschool is that you could teach online independently. So if that's something that interests you, make sure to check out this video next where I go through my exact setup for teaching online independently. The 7th hard truth for teaching online with Outschool is that communication policies are very frustrating. Since Outschool is a platform, we have to follow their policies and their regulations. And one of their regulations is you're not allowed to contact families off of the Outschool platform. That means you can only communicate with them through learner messages or parent messages on the platform. This can be pretty frustrating because sometimes parents, they'll turn off their email settings because of course, that's a normal thing to do these days. You don't want spam in your email. But what they don't realize is when they do that, they're not going to get notifications for the messages that you're sending them, right? I will say that's not the case for everyone, but it is the case for some parents. And of course that means that you can't get their phone number, you can't call them if their student is ever late to class, you can't connect with them on social media, all those things. I understand it because of course Outschool doesn't want you taking that kid off the platform and teaching them on your own and, taking away that 30% from them. But again, it's very frustrating. And finally, the 8th hard truth about teaching online with Outschool is that you should never rely on a platform 100%. Teaching on this platform is such a great way to get started, to build your student base and increase your earnings as an online teacher. But listen, over time, you're gonna realize that relying 100% of your income on another business, on a platform, it's just not comfortable. There's not enough security in that, right? You never know what's gonna happen to Outschool. They could disappear tomorrow, right? They could change policies. At the end of the day, it's not your business. So that's why I always recommend diversifying your income and having a bit of both. If you're interested in diversifying your income as an online teacher, make sure to grab my online teacher's guide to diversify, which I'll link in the description box below. All right, if this video was helpful for you, please make sure to give it a thumbs up and hit subscribe below. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.